Go harass Sergeant again.
Yeah. I hadn't pinged the Discord, mainly because quite a few things are going on.
Yeah, I understand.
Um,
All right, I think we're back online,
Yep.
and I'm hearing me.
Oh,
Hooray.
nothing should have changed. We just turned off and off, on and off the offline thing. It's really only the first one that needs to be checked.
Yeah, I figured, but just commenting.
Mm. All right. So I'm guessing we are ready to begin.
Yes, I think so.
Mm-hmm.
Alrighty. Where's my buttons? Alrighty. We shall begin in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
All right, welcome to the second video, first review of the evening. And up this time we have Incredipede. Incredipede. Grow arms and legs to transform into a snake, spider, butterfly, or 50-leg horror. Anything you can imagine. Control your creations in a Fumblecore dash to solve each puzzle. No, that is what it says, Fumblecore.
That is
Learn
the
to
first
swing
use
through
of that term
trees,
I have ever heard.
climb sheer cliffs, and even fly. So this game was assigned to the Golux for review. So over to him for the details.
I assume Fumblecore means that this is in the same approximate genre as QWOP.
Probably.
Basically, you are this eye creature. There was an interesting backstory, but it's mostly just why you have to get to where you're going.
I
Something
have it right
telling me.
here. Yeah, I
Pirates
can read
came
it.
and killed all the villagers, and you have to escape to the other village. Why you
Yeah.
have to collect fruit in various levels in between the way is left as an exercise for the viewer. So yeah, there are two modes for this game that are significantly different. In easy mode, in each stage you are given control of a particular configuration, and you just have to get the fruits. And you don't have to get all of the fruit in a world, you just have to get most of it. There are not necessarily fruit, but the second world had different things. But you have to collect things in each of the stages. There were in the first two worlds there are 3 categories of thing, and you need a certain number of each category. Of which the last one you only need one of, and the only one is in the last level. But like in the first world, between all of the stages, there are like 16 to 18 cherries. I think it's like 18 cherries, and you only need 15 of them, or else it's like 16 and 13, something like that. And there are like 4 or 5 apples, and you need like 3 of them or something. And in the second world, they're different things. The one there's the most of is a flower crown. But yeah, that's what you in the easy mode, you are given control of a thing, and you have to get through the level, collect the things, and get to the end, which is a glowing vertical column of light that it took me a while to figure out that that's all it was. I thought maybe it was supposed to be something on the ground emitting that, but it wasn't. The challenge there is that you have basically 2 button controls in this, which are usually A and S or D, which I think function identically, and the game goes back and forth between telling you which one it wants you to use. But regardless, and those basically, there are 2 colors of muscle that are on the creature, and they're like purple and orange. And one of them goes clockwise when you press A, and counterclockwise when you press S or D, and the other color vice versa. In the hard mode, after the first couple of stages, you're given the limbs, but then you have to rig the muscles. And then, presumably shortly later on, you are given a basic structure, but then you can build more limbs. So in the hard mode, you have to create your creature to get through the challenge based on certain limitations. On easy mode, you just have to get through the challenges. That said, the movement is very, like I said, it's Fumblecore, I assume, means quap-like, because since you only have fairly coarse control, it's very finicky to get things to move the way you want. One of the later stages in the first world that I spent way too much time on is you start out on top of a rolling ball as a like 4-legged thing, and you have to roll the ball to the right to collect the fruit for that stage while staying on top of it. I was able to get to the end of the stage, but not without falling off the ball and missing the fruit. And then, so yeah, there's a lot of stuff like even a slight lean without really flexing very far can like significantly alter your trajectory or the movement of things. But all you have is flex one way or flex the other way. Honestly, I didn't really have the brain for hard mode. I tried a couple of levels in hard mode, and I really had a hard time figuring out what the rigging is. Like how the rigging... I had a hard time visualizing the rigging as a whole. It does let you customize it at any time, and I assume eventually I'd get a hang of it, but it's challenging, and definitely more challenging than the easy mode. Also, once you complete the stages, or rather, okay, theoretically, once you complete the stages, you're supposed to be able to look up other people's solutions. But when I connected to the online things, all I got was a bunch of examples of different things people built for various challenges. There's also like a creative mode where you can make your own challenges, I think. So yeah. The art style is pretty nice, even if it is very clearly Flash puppet style motion. But the the individually drawn bits are pretty neat. The music takes a while to really kick in on each stage, but is pretty nice. And otherwise, it's just a. I hesitate to say well put together for a Fumblecore game, because the entire point of those is that the gameplay is pretty jank. But like the aesthetics hold up pretty well, I think.
So this is more just like janky gameplay, or like is like intentionally kind of janky, or is there supposed to be like a rhyme or rhythm to it?
I will say this seems a little bit more controllable than QWOP, because you're not dealing with like
That's probably more what I
joints.
was getting at. Yes.
Because you're not really dealing with controlling separate limbs separately, unless you like I think all of the muscles flex. It's just they flex either one way or the other way. And if you don't want them to flex, you just have to not put a muscle there on hard mode. Yeah, I think it's more comprehensible than that, but the controls are still a little bit. There's a lot of like really feathering on the keys to like tilt just the right amount in one way to get it to.
Does it have the ability to
start
use
falling
a
over in that
controller?
direction? It didn't say. If it did, it would be button controls. It would just be like face button south and face button west.
Well, because like most modern controllers, like at least PlayStation and Xbox, have analog triggers, which would probably
It would be interesting if they did that, but there was no mention of it being controller compatible in any way, so I didn't bother checking.
Fair enough.
Adam, do you have any questions?
Not really. You've done an adequate job of covering what this thing is.
Do you have a price?
I do. $10, $9.99.
Yeah, I think unless you get super frustrated at that kind of like the controls are the challenge gameplay, I think that's a pretty good price for the amount of stuff there is here and the versatility of the hard mode that lets you like be creative in how you're solving things.
I think this is the kind of game, this genre. Apparently, it has a name. This Fumblecore stuff. You either like it or you don't. Or you're trying to get reaction money from YouTube.
Yes, Fumblecore is a genre that is centered around controlling a character in a manner that is purposely opposed to traditional and refined movement. Is what I got on a quick Google.
So, once again, like that was a mainstay of obnoxious reaction videos or
I mean, the fact that you get to designs, the fact that like the goals are more creative than just can you go far enough, and that there is a creative mode puts this significantly above a lot of Fumblecore things that I've seen. So
if nothing else, we have learned a new word this day. Like, anyway, anything else?
I think that's about all. It's fairly simple.
Fair enough. All right, so that'll about do it for Incredipede here. Be sure to tune in after the break as we review Before Exit Supermarket.